Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I wanted to make a video talking about my favorite Souls game, and it's Sekiro. My favorite From Software game, right? Because some people don't like Sekiro to be called a Souls game, even though my argument is that it it is a Souls game. It's made by them. It has the DNA of a Souls game. The only difference, in my opinion, that I see that it's not a Souls game is the fact that you're not changing your armor. Uh, you're not changing your sword. It's the same thing throughout the whole game. You do have the arm that you could upgrade and use as tools, but it's less RPG than other Souls games. But in my opinion, it's still a Souls game. The DNA is still there. Tough bosses, collecting souls, bonfires, all of that stuff. Like, it's there. And in my opinion, Sekiro is probably the best game out of all of the Souls games that FromSoft made. I know a lot of people love Bloodborne. It's near and dear to their heart, and Bloodborne to me is like a masterpiece. It's so amazing. There's a reason why probably we never got another one. It's because it's just one of those one and done games. Like, it doesn't need a sequel, in my opinion. Now you can take that game and make it better, right? Like, the internet has been dying for some sort of upgrade, whether it's a remake, a remaster. I never really understood why Bloodborne never got a 60 frames patch, because Dark Souls and Sekiro did. And I don't know if because Bloodborne is an older game, they can't do that, or the conspiracy theory that I have is that why would they upgrade the game to 60 when they're already making a game, when they're already making a remake for it, but nobody knows about, right? So it's like, why would they upgrade the game when they could remake it, sell it to you? Because video games is a business, right? So that's kind of my opinion, but it could be copium and people like it's funny because when I was on Twitter, like when I was on Twitter, like almost every week Bloodborne is trending, bro. And it's just like it's so hard. It's so hard not to have a slither of hope. And every time there's a PlayStation Direct, dude, everybody's always like, "Here we go, man. Here we go. We're gonna see some Bloodborne." Like, it's the funniest thing, and I've been guilty of it. Like, and hope is a dangerous thing, dude, because no Bloodborne still. We can't even get a freaking 60 frames patch. The PC peasants over there still can't play Bloodborne. Like, Bloodborne is just locked on PlayStation and they're not doing anything with it as far as we know. But this is not a Bloodborne video. I'm sorry. I went off the rails there. This is a Sekiro video, baby. And Sekiro, in my opinion, is the best game that they ever made. Um, it's hard to say that because Bloodborne is so amazing. Dark Souls 3 is so amazing. Elden Ring is so amazing. Like, the thing about From Software is that they're just so good at what they do. They are incredibly talented. They know what they're doing, and they're just masters at their craft at this point. And I mean, there's a reason why so many other companies try to make Souls games, right? But nobody can do it like From Software. And you could tell, you could feel it through the gameplay and through everything else. Really, the gameplay, it's just there's this smoothness to it. There's this level of polish when it comes to the combat, to the gameplay of Souls games that is really hard to match with other games that try to follow the same formula. But and this is where I come back to Sekiro, because Sekiro, like, is probably one of the best games in terms of combat, in terms of fluidity, in terms of like quickness and what you can do in the game. It is a phenomenal game when it comes to the gameplay, the combat. Like, and I think that is my favorite aspect of the game. There's a level of satisfaction that you get from FromSoft games, but I think it's a little bit amplified, at least for me, when it comes to Sekiro, because man, like you have to be aggressive, you have to be on your A game. I feel like when you play these games, because they are tough and they are very, very relentless. Sekiro is very relentless, and I just like I'll never forget. It's actually my first video on this channel where I recorded, where I posted a video of fighting the last boss in Sekiro, and he has 4 phases, and like it's like a 15-20 minute boss fight. And I remember dying to him like so many times. I think it was like 3 days I sat on this boss, and I finally killed him. And I killed him with like no health potions left. I mean, he was tough. And I just don't think any other Souls game has given me the trouble that Sekiro has given me. And I love every second of it. I love how challenging this game is. I love the just the nature of these games and how just relentless they can be. And it's pretty much like, get good, dude. That's, you know, obviously the whole the meme around that, all that, right? Because it's like I don't want to rant too much about you know, do Souls games, you know, deserve an easy mode, but I've always stated like it's part of their DNA. This is what makes these games so special, is the challenge, is overcoming the challenge. And when you strip that away, you're stripping a core component of what makes these games special, in my opinion. And you strip that away, and it's just not the same. It's not what is designed here. And the design of it being challenging is built from the ground up. It is in their DNA. I think a lot of these people who are like, I want an easy mode for Souls games, and this is my opinion, but I think that if they just took the time to really learn the mechanics and have a little bit more patience with the game, they'll find themselves getting better and better, and they will find that love, because these games can be intimidating, dude. And you know, some people don't have the patience for it. Some people are just not interested in these games at all. And I totally get that. But yeah, for the people who want an easy mode, it's just, you're taking away from the games. You're taking away from what makes these games special. You're literally defeating the whole purpose. But anyways, Sekiro, man, I like to go back and play older games here and there once in a while when there's kind of like a slowdown period. And Sekiro is a game that I played in the beginning of this year. Again, I played it the year it came out, and I beat it, and I loved it. But I do like to return to older games that I really enjoyed at one point when there's a break period between games. And Sekiro is just a game that I really wanted to talk about, because I think it's such a special game, from the aesthetic, the art style, the you know, it has that Souls formula where it's like it's kind of grounded a little bit, and then it gets weirder and weirder the more you play, and I love that. I love that about Bloodborne, because that game got weirder the more you you know, the more you played it. And just FromSoftware knows what they're doing, man. And I really, really love I love them. Like they're one of the best in the industry. And I really love the fact that like they don't pump out games every year. They don't ruin their games like that. You could tell. I mean, let's be real, right? Like the video game industry is all about money. It's about you know, it's about making profits and all that stuff, right? Making shareholders happy and all that yada yada stuff. But there are certain companies out there that really treat their games with respect, and they respect the player. They understand that video games in this, when you get super niche, like the Souls games, like it's really art, man. They're creating art. You know what I mean? Because there's a huge difference between somebody who loves the Souls games and they appreciate the games for what they are and their art. They're an art form. compared to someone who just like gets on FIFA or Call of Duty and just gets off, right? Like there's a level, there's a difference there. I just think these games are created with love and care and passion, and you could feel it when you play them. That's the video, guys. I wanted to talk a little bit about Sekiro, Souls games, my love for them, and I am really interested to see what their next game will be. Are they going to go open world again, like Elden Ring, or are they going to bring it back down as like to the smaller games? Because as much as I love Elden Ring and I love the grand scale of it, I do also love the smaller scale games like Souls 3, Sekiro, Bloodborne, the other Souls games that not a fan of Dark Souls 2, but like I like the size of those games because I really love the shortcut design approach where there's a level of satisfaction when you find that little shortcut and it brings you back to a bonfire, and like especially when like you're low on health and you're desperate, and then you find that shortcut and it just feels so good. Like you're just like, oh, finally, like I can go spend some souls. I got I got a save point or whatever, not a save point, but you know what I mean, like a checkpoint. um but yeah, man, I'm rambling a little bit. Let me know what you think about this video. Are you a fan of Sekiro? Are you a fan of Souls games? Do you like these games? Put it down in the comments section. Let's have a conversation. And I'll catch you guys next time on the next video. Take it easy. Peace. Really quickly, guys, before I leave, if you like this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that like button. If you like what I'm doing here, support me. And I'm just a guy who loves video games, and I just want to share the passion. I want to talk about the latest stuff. I want to go back to older games and talk about them. That's what I'm doing here on YouTube. So consider supporting the channel, and thank you so much.